everybody. Welcome to episode 1 of PV Cooks. PV stands for Puerto Vallarta. My kitchen is in the heart of Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. And so you're going to see in my kitchen that I add a few elements of Mexico in everything that I do. Today we are making chili con carne. And it was one of my dad's favorite things to make in the whole world. He would make it every year for Christmas. We're in the middle of Dia de los Muertos. Actually, today is November the 2nd. And today is the day that we remember our ancestors and we put on altars food that they loved. So today is really an incredible day for me to show you this recipe. His name's Jack Hendricks, and he passed away in January. So, welcome to my kitchen, and let's get started. Today, what I'm going to show you, very simply, I use a lot of ingredients in my chili because I like levels of flavor. In my opinion, amazing food, it comes from levels of flavor, niveles de sabores, as you would say in Spanish. So, today we're going to start with all the fresh ingredients. Super simple. Roasted red peppers, fresh tomatoes. These are our diced tomatoes that we actually use at my restaurant in Puerto Vallarta called Whiskey Kitchen. This is red peppers, yellow peppers, celery, and I want to say apio. It's celery in Spanish. I'm sorry. We make this amazing confit garlic that I learned from Scott Conant. Thank you, chef. Hats off to you. You always give me like the greatest little things. I use this in so many things. And this is the base of the chili. This is our sazones de la casa, our seasonings that we make here. And this is cumin that gives it what you would call your chili spice in the U.S., which is not available here, so we make our own. Mexico's really funny, especially Puerto Vallarta. Puerto Vallarta is a small town, so there's a lot of things that you can't find. So I'm pretty good at being resourceful. I've been in Mexico for about 12 years and finding ways to get what I need and find solutions for my kitchen and how I want things to taste. This is the super secret ingredient. This is mole. Mole comes from Oaxaca. There are 5 different moles. This is mole almendra. This is from almonds. It's a very special, rich flavor. In the United States, when I make chili, I use chocolate without sugar. This is like chocolate on crack. It typically is 17 to 38 different ingredients, and it adds amazing flavor to chili. So we're going to get started. I'm going to dump everything in a pot. I'm going to share with you the steps. We're going to share the recipe in English and Spanish. And thank you for coming. Welcome to my kitchen. So we're going to start with step 1, and we're going to try and do this easily. We're in the middle of service at Whiskey Kitchen. So step 1 is the garlic confit. All the fresh vegetables. This is celery, all colors of peppers, and red onion. These are roasted red peppers. I'm going to show you how to make those later. Right on the stove top. Fresh tomatoes. And tomato paste. These are actually crushed tomatoes. I prefer them. We add tomato paste later for texture. So now we're going to hop over to the stove and dump them in. Ooh. So what you want to do with this is you want to make sure that the vegetable's brown. You want a little bit of caramelization. The difference between slow cooking chili and this one is exactly that. I know everybody loves to use their slow cooker, but there is no substitute for caramelizing vegetables or caramelizing anything. for flavor. Okay, so we're ready for the main ingredient, the meat. I use 50%, 80-20 ground beef and ground pork. When you get your meat from the carniceria, from your butcher, please, please, please don't be afraid to ask for 80-20. 20% means fat. 80% is the main ingredient, is ground beef. But what's important to understand is fat is flavor. So don't be afraid to ask for 80-20. And Mexico, by the way, has amazing ground pork. The United States, I think, has better ground beef. So the unity of both makes the best chili. So don't overwork it as well. You want to put it loosely in the pot, just like this. Don't squeeze it too much and don't overwork it. What happens is the fibers of the meat, it turns sort of rubbery even. It's so much about texture. And you want it nice and loose. And the meat's going to cook down. So don't be afraid if you think your pot's getting really full, it's going to reduce by 20% because that amount of fat is going to turn to liquid and it's going to be an amazing base to cook all of your chili in. So there's your main ingredient. You know, okay, so we're down to almost the final stages of getting everything in the pot. This is super easy. We're going to put our mole, all of it, cumin, our whiskey kitchen house seasoning, which is a secret, and the only thing that we're not going to put in yet is salt, because you can add salt later. You cannot take it away, so it's very important to add salt level in the very end. And the only thing left is one whole bottle of red wine. We're making a lot of chili for some friends tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the pot, and then we're going to let it simmer, and we're going to save the salt for after the wine, and after we're finished, to make sure that we have the proper level, because you can't take it away. So add salt last, and use only good salt, by the way. Like the iodized salt, this is from Colima. This is amazing salt. It's a huge difference in flavor and what it actually does to your food. So be really careful what kind of salt that you use. So I'm going to go dump this in and a bottle of red wine, and I'll be right back. So right now what we're doing is stirring everything together and waiting on my bottle of wine that's coming eventually. It's right here. Say hi, Lucy. Hello. This is a bottle of house wine. Don't use old wine. Don't use oxidized wine. If you don't drink it, if you won't drink it, don't put it in your food. Stir everything super well together, and then you're going to let it simmer for literally 3 hours on low. We're going to cook beans separately. There's this whole idea that, or my lovely Texan friends do not believe that beans belong in chili. I'm in Mexico. The art of beans is its own thing. So we're going to cook them separately, and you can add them if you like. That's kind of how I'm solving that conversation between Texas chili lovers and everybody else in the rest of the world. When you stir, make sure and pull from the outside in and the bottom. Super important. Okay, so our chili pot is cooking. It's going to cook for 3.5 to 4 hours. But please don't forget pairings. In addition to a cook, I am a sommelier, an accredited sommelier. And I want you to remember to keep it simple, stupid. The kiss is true, true, true for pairings. So pairing number 1, I'm a wine girl. So this is Santa Julia. It's a Tempranillo Malbec. Malbec is awesome with chili. It's a nice round grape, perfect for different levels of flavor, and it handles spice well. So I just chose a very inexpensive wine. This is like $8 in the United States, 159 pesos here in Mexico, and will go super, super well. Don't be afraid to add ice cubes to your wine. As you can see, we're sweating here still in Puerto Vallarta, so there's nothing wrong with that. Next pairing, beer. Beer and chili has gone together since I think it was created. This is Colima, a cerveceria, a beer place in Colima. This is Ticus. Ticus is a porter. Porter is like a super rich dark beer. Has a roasted flavor with chocolate. The addition of mole that we did over in the pot is incredible with this beer. Amazing. And then, of course, how simple can you get? Sangria your style. Don't be afraid to make your own sangria. Add all kinds of fruit. Add some mint. Add basil. Work anything you got in your kitchen. It's amazing with chili. It calms the palate as well, and it can be a perfect pairing, but your style. So, thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part of my very first episode. This was not easy to do, and I'm very happy that you came and very grateful. Please like this on YouTube, share it with your peeps, share it with your friends. I am very blessed to cook every day in this amazing little city in Mexico, and very grateful to have you watching. Come to Whiskey Kitchen when you're here, and I'd love to meet you. And tomorrow we're going to have a table enjoying the chili and enjoying all of our pairings for you to see as well. So thank you so much, and we'll see you soon for episode number 2.